What's up guys, Mike here, and I've been going over the nuggets that we had from the interview with Joyce Henderson. If you want to check out that video, we'll put that in the link down below. One of the things she had mentioned is that no role is more important than the other. So we were talking about the shared meaning system, and in dance there's a leader role and there's a follower role. And she was really adamant about the fact that each role is equally as important, because technically speaking, if you're leading and you don't have a follower, then you're kind of just leading yourself. On the opposite side, if you're a follower and you're not letting the leader lead, then you're creating more tension within the context. But then the question comes up in terms of like trusting and being able to trust that your leader is actually going to lead you in the right way to create that dance, if I kind of say that. And if we want to bring that back into relationship, a lot of times when I work with couples, that is a sticky point, because one person should take the lead or have a leader role, and the other one should have a follower role, maybe based on strengths, maybe based on maybe traditional roles, if that's the case. And what's more important is to really be able to communicate and define what those roles are. So in defining the roles, one of the things that comes up is a basic need called equity, which is fairness, right? So sometimes when people classically define their roles, sometimes what happens, or what tends to happen, is that things are not balanced out correctly and it doesn't seem fair. So as soon as I hear emotions that come across like sometimes I feel take it for granted, or anything in that realm, usually it's a pretty good indicator that there's something about what's happening within the context of the relationship where there is not an even exchange of equity. Someone feels like they're doing more within the context of that relationship. And if we rewind the tape a little bit more and I kind of find out what some of the expectations were, what were some of the conversations around that, we would get a classical understanding of what some of these roles would be. But then in reality, it doesn't play itself out that way, and it actually causes more tension within the context of the relationship. So hopefully that makes sense. Defining a leader. So Joyce had said the leader makes the initial move. And the other three things were giving a clear signal, timing, and confidence. And of course, this is still in the context of the dance, but it really does make sense if I juxtapose this back to relationships, because if you're trying to move from point A to point B, one of the things that we want to exude is confidence. And I remember a long time ago when I used to do sales, we used to have to take lessons on how to handle objections, which basically is I just need more information. So when someone's trying to, let's just say, sell something, and someone says, hey, I'm not really too sure about that, we were kind of trained to just understand that this person just needed more information so they could feel more confident or comfortable about the direction that they wanted to go in, right? So in relationship, it kind of works the same way, because if you're trying to lead your significant other in a specific direction, and you're getting a little bit of resistance, well, number one, it's a great time to have a conversation about whatever this is. It may not be a problem per se, or a conflict that you're trying to manage. You're just trying to get an idea across. And when you get the resistance, there may be a little bit of issue with confidence, and we have to have a conversation to maybe overcome whatever that objection is, right? So timing, all right, in dance, timing is everything. We actually have to follow the rhythm of the music. We also have to count each of our steps and be able to execute our steps within a specific discipline in the dance. And I think that there is a timing when it comes to relationships as well. And one simple place that I can point to is, some people are night owls and some people are early birds, right? So I don't know how many times I've tried to help couples manage conversations just around managing managing conflicts where a person's a night owl and they're trying to manage something at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it just doesn't, the timing is kind of off. And that's just one example in terms of like the ebb and flow of the relationship. And then the last piece is like confidence, right? So when we start talking about confidence, one of the things that I really want to espouse is that, so what is it? Confidence is an assurity that you're going to be able to navigate a specific situation. And then where does it come from? And the answer is that usually it comes from repetition and practice. So when something is very early in its stages, the confidence may not be completely there. So when you try to have a person go in a specific direction and they're not following, we may kind of get the idea that if you're not really exuding confidence in yourself, then the other person is not really being confident in your ability, and that may cause a little bit of dissonance, right? So in order to create shared meaning, as a takeaway, what we want to do is that we really want to try to define our roles. And I really love when Joyce said, salsa is a dance and not a fight. And just like relationships are a dance and they shouldn't be a fight, even though managing conflicts is still part of healthy relationships, because it's the way that we kind of grow. So hopefully that makes sense, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. There's a couple more bullet points that I want to share.